Welcome back. I am theundj, and this is Confessing Lies or Telling Stories. This is the channel where it's all about sharing knowledge. It's not about the videos. It's damn sure not about me. It's all about searching for truth. We got more videos to assess. You ready? Let's get right.
Money won't matter in 2036.
I'm not sure that the people who bought your shares think that money won't matter in 2036.
Well, what do you want money for? You want money for goods and services, right? You want money for, obviously, food, housing, transport, entertainment. Well, if that is so abundant that there's more, that the robots and AI are providing more goods and services than any human could possibly consume, what do you need money for in that case?
Let's agree that that could be where we end up. I'm concerned about the road, and we live in democracies, and people are very worried about this. So I guess two questions. Firstly, do you have to have massive redistribution from people like you to the people who are losing their jobs? Do you need to pay more tax? Do you have much higher taxes on capital so that you fund some kind of universal income? Otherwise, what do people live off?
I think that the Treasury should just simply issue people checks.
But where's the revenue coming from? I mean, I'm enough of an economist. If you just issue checks, you're going to have inflation.
This is like a lot of what we're trying to think about is these things were relevant in the past. They will not be relevant in the future. So, like, inflation is simply the ratio of money to goods and services. So if the goods and services output increases dramatically, if it increases, 1,000%, you can literally print, or these days change the database. It's not print money. It's you create money in the database, provided the creation of that money is less than the rate at which goods and services increase. You will actually have deflation. So I'll make a prediction, which is that deflation will be the issue, not inflation.
I don't know how to feel about this because I can see the logic behind it. I had to look up a few phrases to make sure I could follow along. This dude kind of speaks English, but he doesn't speak like a human. But I pretty much got the gist of it. And what I get from it is we're just going to have the same kind of issues, just on the opposite end of where we're at now. If this prediction is correct, it still poses a problem because it's still giving all the power, creativity, and everything to these AI robots. Yeah, it's been a long day. Don't laugh. But these robots are going to take a lot of things out of human hands, and I'm just not sure that's the way we need to go. All right, let's try to get through the rest of this video. I'm going to wake up. I got it.
The CEO of Randstad, the world's largest staffing company, said, quote, "The days of going to college and doing something in an office are over," end quote. His advice to students: learn a trade or learn AI. The path your parents took doesn't exist anymore. The man who runs the biggest hiring company on earth just told your kid and or your grandkid to skip the office.
The U.S. government is warning citizens that expressing resentment towards AI data centers and increased surveillance programs could potentially grant you the title of domestic terrorist or anti-tech extremist. I didn't know it was a crime to want clean tap water and be against the surveillance state in the land of the free.
But this is exactly what we don't want to see. We don't want to see them taking this water for their data centers. We don't want to see them siphoning it all. If I get a certain amount of likes on this, I'm coming back with a chainsaw and I'm chopping the pipe, baby.
So this is what's going to change the world. And by change the world, it's the young people need to give up going to college and getting a regular job or any of that. That's not the path anymore. And if you do not agree with the way things are going, you could be labeled a terrorist. Not good. And that beautiful scenery we saw, look at all those hoses siphoning all the water. This is what they call progress. This is the future. This is where we're going. Hooray.
What we discovered is the probability that any sensory system has ever been shaped to see any true feature of objective reality. When you do the math, the answer is 0. Exactly 0.
Well, you realize you're making a very bold claim. Embodied consciousness, consciousness existing inside bodies,
Right.
is the exception to the rule. Detachment from the five senses actually allows you greater knowledge. A good
Yes.
example being near-death experiences. The amount of things that we don't see in reality, we don't see electric fields. The 8 million species are just the 8 million species that it's adaptive for our survival to see. How do we then try to triangulate and figure out what true reality actually is?
To date, science cannot answer that question. There are an infinite number of alien intelligences. Our headset gives us a very, very, very tiny peek at this, and the recursive trace logic gives us a mathematical framework to begin to understand exactly how our space-time headset is built, how it can be hacked.
Whoa. So it's an infinite scale of consciousness.
That's right. Not in just one direction, in an infinite number of different directions. So this is when we get to the UAP kind of stuff. The craft seems to be here, and then it goes Mach 40. To me, it's like,
When you're poking at the boundaries with your consciousness or with high energy physics, you see these entities and you see these UFOs. Do you think we're on the verge of a scientific revolution?
if we prove those conjectures are true, then I think it's the game changer.
Now, this clip is a result of me trying to learn quantum physics on my own. Yeah. One thing I do understand is that to hack our code, and by headset, he's referring to us, just our brains. He's assuming that we are in a simulation and we're all wearing headsets that we cannot take off. So by headset, he's talking about our head, our brain. And they are trying to hack this code because it seems like anytime someone gets close to doing that, the world changes or something goes wrong or that person goes missing. And they're saying that it's all part of the simulation. It's all part of the game. So trying to break out, there's a code written to keep you in. And if you try, the game will turn against you. It's not people. They're saying it's the game. This is what I've gotten at so far. And I'm starting to find clips or different clips than I usually find simply because I'm trying to open my horizon, increase my knowledge. That's why the different clips are showing up. And this is what happens when you increase knowledge or open your eyes. You just start going down different paths. And that's all I'm doing here. And I'm loving it. I hope you are too. Frequency. It's a never-ending rabbit hole. And the more I learn about it, the more I'm amazed by it. The more I want to know what the correct ones are, the more I want to stay away from the bad ones. The more I want to know about me. And I feel like anytime you're going down a rabbit hole that makes you want to know more about yourself, not how you feel or what you think, but how you operate, then you are definitely in the right place.
You don't get paid for effort. You get paid for how hard you are to replace. That's it. That's the whole game. The guy that's working 80 hours a week at the warehouse makes less than the guy working on this laptop 20 hours a week. And some people say, oh, that's unfair. Could be, but it's just basic math. The warehouse worker can be replaced by tomorrow afternoon. It's simple. Post the job, 200 applications come by Friday. But the guy with specific skills, the specific network, the specific knowledge that took years, maybe 5 or 10 to build, you can't replace him as easy. So he sets his price and the market pays it. This is what nobody teaches you in school. They teach you to work hard, show up early, stay late, grind, hustle, but they never teach you the one thing that actually determines your income: how easy or how difficult it is to find another you. There's 3 levels to it. Level 1 is commodity. You do what everyone else can do. You compete on hours and effort. Your income typically has a ceiling and you hit it pretty fast. Level 2 is specialist. You have a skill that takes some time to develop. Your income goes up, but you're still trading time. Level 3 is irreplaceable. You do what almost nobody can do in the combination that you offer it. At this level, you stop chasing money, it starts chasing you. Ask yourself one question right now and be honest. How many people can replace me by Monday? If the answer is hundreds or thousands, the market is already pricing you accordingly. If the answer is a handful, you have leverage you probably aren't using. If the answer is almost nobody, you name your price. Bro, you got to stop competing on effort. Start competing on value. The hardest workers in the world are often the most underpaid, not because the system is broken, but because effort without scarcity is almost worthless. And I'm not saying they're a worthless person, but when we're talking about to the marketplace, they're capped. Become the man they can't find a second version of. That's where the money lives. That's where you get paid.
I didn't put this clip in here because it's something profound that nobody knows or some kind of life hack. It's pretty much common sense, something most of us have already learned. I put this clip in here to remind you how to beat AI when it comes for your job, because it's going to happen. But AI is not going to have the personality that a human can have, the tactics, the ability to get other people to listen and pay attention. AI can't do it like us. So in going forward, when it comes to the marketplace, it is not about your skill. It is not about your degrees. It's about your value. Work on creating value, because that is something AI can never replace. And this proves my point. Nice looking cars, but I've met some amazing people who do ride share, deliver food and everything. You can tell just by that quick little interaction that they're on their way somewhere. This is just how they keep the money in their pocket while they get there. I like that. I think that is a great way to help people make some extra money. I am not against people delivering food. I'm against the fact that most people suck and will do something to your food. But the idea is amazing. It gives people a way to put money in their pocket. But now we got these. And on that second clip, I'm a little pissed off, because if you go back just 2 or 3 episodes, right here, I played a clip and the CEO was saying, well, it's not like we're putting realistic faces on the robots. It was just a digital screen showing Donald Trump and Zuckerberg. So it's not like anybody would think this is the real thing, and we're not trying to make them look human. And here we are 2 or 3 episodes later, and that's exactly what they're doing. Not only are they lying, they're lying quicker. They'll say one thing, and then 2, 3 weeks later, they'll do something else. It's not 10, 20 years anymore. They will tell the lie and then go ahead and do what they mean to do within weeks. Why? Because our attention moves that fast now. They don't have to wait for years to lie to us. They can tell us something and lie in 2 weeks, and we'll forget what they told us. We got to work on that.
I mean, anybody who's a billionaire who thinks they could just do it all over again is lying their ass off. I mean,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, for sure. Because, if the internet stock market hadn't just taken off when we were starting AudioNet, you wouldn't even know who I
Yeah.
was. That's just the way it works. And, I think, could I be a millionaire multiple times over? Yeah, because I could hustle, I could sell, I was smart. But the whole billionaire side of it, the hundreds of millions of dollars, that's just insane. And that was luck.
Man, I like this. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that. It's like you can make money, you can do well, but being a billionaire is just luck, right time, right place, everything. So if literally if I started you again with all your knowledge today, you don't think you could be a billionaire?
No. No, unless I got lucky again, right? I mean, could I find opportunities to get me there? There's only a few of those types of opportunities. You can start, a hedge fund and hopefully do well, and then you raise a lot of money. You could take a company public. You can start a private company and be bought out. Those really are the primary ways to get to that level of wealth. And so, could I try any or all of those things? Yeah. Like if I had to have if you put me in a witness protection program and nobody knew who I was and I had to just start purely from scratch, but I still knew what I know now, I could do well. But I would have to search out some unique opportunity, because to be a billionaire, there's got to be something that's very leverageable, right? Something that just explodes financially. But there's a whole lot of people who are really, really smart who do each of those things, or one of them really well, and we don't know who they are.
Just want to make sure you understand the reality of the situation you're in. The odds are against you on getting that super wealth. And I'm glad that he was honest about it. There is a lot of right time, right place kind of things involved in it. But there is nothing that's stopping you from doing all you can. That's where integrity comes from. It's not about whether or not it's going to work. It's about whether or not you were willing to do it. That's all you need to be concerned with. The millionaires and billionaires out there, kudos to them. But don't think that if you're not a millionaire, that you're not doing all you can do. Don't think that it's something wrong with you. Just continue to get better every day. That's what I'm doing. I'm on the same path as you all. I'm out here trying to get it any way I can and trying to adapt to a world that is moving faster than I'm used to. And as time moves, I'm supposed to get slower. I'm not going to allow that to happen because I got to keep up with the world now. Suggest you do the same. Let's stay in this race and let's get it.
I always thought Chris was a cute girl. She was really nice, but I was dating. Supermodels.
You know the rumor.
But the rumor ain't true. It's not even nowhere close to being true.
Some people think like you might be Khloe Kardashian's real dad.
No, I'm not.
Because like Kim's like 5'5", Kourtney's like 5'3", and then Khloe's like 6'2".
The family say something about a cook or something, but I don't know.
That he is not Khloe Kardashian's father. Well, the rumors have been going around for years. I married their two names and called her Khloe. And he set the record straight. Take a look.
Congratulations in order?
For what?
We hear Khloe finally announced that she's pregnant.
Well, for God bless his soul, yeah. But really? I don't know for me. I don't think for me, I have nothing to do with it. I'm happy for him. Congratulations to her. But trust me, I have nothing to do with it.
Well, you've lied to us before, OJ.
Honestly, the last thing she said kind of sums it up. It ain't like he's a married to the truth kind of guy. So the height difference, they're already Armenian, right? So there's already some tint to the skin. You never know, but it's out there, and for some reason it's starting to pick up traction again. So here it is for you. But it's very easy to believe, and it's hard to dismiss.
I'm talking like this to you, and I put my phone right here. Do you feel a difference?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Do you feel I'm more connected or less connected?
Less connected.
Yeah, and
I'm amongst priorities, not the priority.
Do you feel any different if I flip it over?
Yes, I do.
And my face it's down?
Yes, I do.
Now,
it's a signal.
Of?
That you think this is more important and you don't want to be distracted.
Imagine, what would you feel like if you just said, hey, where's your phone? He said, oh, I just left it in the car. I just wanted to sit with you.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Does anybody do that?
No.
No, nobody does that. But if I have it here, even if I put it face down on the table and I'm talking to you, I'm at least still having my world, my business, my stress, my chaos. It's my pacifier. It's still there in the conversation with us. So even if I put it down, or I put it between my legs, or I put it in my pocket, which I think is much better of not letting it come out at all, what's the strength of the connection? Because we've all been that person where they get out their phone while you're talking and they're like, yeah, right, go ahead. And you go, I don't want this. You let go because it's like, this isn't real connection.
In my personal life, the few people that I do know, they watch my videos. And it's working. I have consciously made sure that I've cut the umbilical cord that I have to my phone. And because I've done it, and people are watching these videos, the people around me have done it too, and I really appreciate it. We have to collectively stop this. We didn't mean to get addicted to it. We didn't mean for this to happen, but we can cry about it all day, or we can do something about it today. I choose the latter. So that's what we're going to do, at least in my personal space. The people around me, I'm taking them in a different direction. But this phone, it's too amazing to just not want it. I have to have it, but I can control my addiction to it. And I think everyone else can too. And if we do it just a little bit, that's a whole lot of attention they're not getting from us. I think it's worth it.
The ironic thing about life is that you are a different person to everyone you meet. To some, you're quiet. To others, you never stop talking. Some remember you for your kindness, others for the time you walked away. You are a villain in someone's story, a hero in another's. And to most, you're just a passing thought, a name they once knew. You don't exist as one person, but as countless versions of yourself, shaped by fleeting moments and personal perceptions. And here's what's unsettling. You will never truly know yourself the way others do. You will never hear your own laughter the way someone else does. You will never see the way your absence lingers in a room you used to fill. To yourself, you are just you. But in reality, you are 1,000 different stories, none of which you will ever get to read.
I really don't think that anyone should care what other people think about them. But I think everyone should care about themselves and how they are around other people. That's the part I think you need to care about. Other people do matter, just not the way they think they do, and probably not the way we think they matter. They're not supposed to matter the way we use it. But other people around do matter. You can't do it by yourself. So that little fix just might fix everything. You're always going to be something different to everyone you meet. Don't take yourself too serious, but don't take your eyes off yourself, because you're important and powerful, and that matters. Very simple, but complicated to do.
What's the most disruptive thing that you could say in the most disruptive conversation that's ever been had?
Everything is perfect.
What does that mean?
It means that everything that's happening right now is actually a perfect manifestation of a maturation of a species. We don't actually have, a polycrisis going on. We've got a hospice moment. And the joy that I had as a hospice doctor was so different than when I was running ICUs and battling against death and failing against death every day. You change your perspective for a moment as a doctor, and you suddenly are sitting by somebody's bed, and the victory is no longer staying alive longer. It's integrating everything that's happened. And I got to watch over and over again how humans at that last few minutes of life suddenly look back and realize their life was perfect. And I think that's the exciting moment we're in, is we're going to move past this polarized state of human perspective where we keep flipping the victim-perpetrator code, and we use the savior mentality to keep that victim-perpetrator coin flipping to keep a mirage going. And when you suddenly put that coin down and somebody starts dipping across the veil of the limited 5 senses of their brain, and they start feeling an ecstatic moment where they realize, oh my God, the whole thing was poetically perfect. All of the heartbreak, all of the estrangement, all of the disappointment, all of the insecurity. I did that for the experience.
Well, that definitely is the most disruptive thing you can say in society. You walk up to people and be like, hey, everything's perfect. This whole world is just perfect the way it is. Everything here belongs here. You could find yourself in a dangerous situation because people might jump on you. But I get it. Put yourself in the mindset of the movie The Nutty Professor, whether it's the old school Jerry Lewis or the newer one with Eddie Murphy. It doesn't matter. The concept is the same. Trying to remove the weight to be attractive, or whatever you thought was wrong with him, cost him his intelligence. And it was just one gene. I'm not sure how I got to be me, but I'm pretty sure that if you remove any of the good or bad things that happened to me, any of the good or bad things that I've gone through, any of the good or bad things that I've caused or that I've done, and I would be a different person. And I'm just not willing to risk that. And I think that's what they're looking at here. The bad needs to happen because the bad isn't happening to hurt you. It's happening to form you. I get it. But I only get it because I've lived some life now. Younger, I don't want to hit it. All the bad things in the world happened to me and I've done nothing wrong. That's the mindset I had. But I get it now. In that sense, everything is perfect. Everything that happens needs to happen if it created you.
Moment in history as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights.
What? We need to come together and do one thing: stop participating. And when we do that, the game is over. When we literally say Monday morning, we're not going to go to work. Imagine if 30 million people didn't go to work Monday. Imagine if 30 million people didn't buy gas on Monday. Imagine if 30 million people went to the bank on Monday and said, I want to withdraw all my money. They can't even give it to all 30 million because only 15% of the cash is available on hand at any given time. The rest is fake zeros and ones. That would collapse the banking system in one day. You see the power in that? You have the power. Well, we all have the power, but what's keeping us back from doing this? Fear. Oh my God, if I don't go to work, I'm gonna get fired. And if they don't participate in it, and I'm the only one that doesn't show up for work, I'm gonna lose out, and I'm not gonna be able to pay my rent. I'm not gonna be able to make my car payment, and so forth and so on. You see the trap they have us in? They have us in this system where we're afraid to work together. Man, we're brothers. We should be, link up. Let's do this together.
I totally agree. I've always said we can change things, snap of a finger. And this has happened a few times. They're called strikes. I remember a while back, it was a long time ago, all the truckers parked their trucks for 8 hours and the country lost its ish. In 8 hours, there was disruption because the truckers decided not to drive just for 8 hours to prove a point. And that point got across very quickly. So will we do it? No, we can't get on the same team. We're still arguing about whether or not something's AI. But there was something a long time, and I do mean long, like 80s and 90s, the first time somebody had said it. And they were like, oh, if everybody went to one end of the earth and jumped up at the same time, it would cause the earth to move. Now, I don't know if there's any scientific backing to that, but logically, or as a kid, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. I think it was just a lesson on teamwork. Even if it's not accurate, it's showing that by doing something like that, you never know what you could shift. There's the concept. If we want things to change, we can't do it alone. We have to come together and make a collective decision to not let it happen anymore.
What's so bad about being disliked? We think that if someone dislikes us, it means there's something wrong with us. We think there's something that we need to change about ourselves. When in fact, someone else not liking you may have nothing to do with you. And actually, if you can let other people not like you, you are actually free, because then you've given up the role of trying to change what other people think about you.
Right.
And as you know, being on, being in the limelight and stuff like that, there's going to be people that love what you do. There's going to be people that don't like what you do, and everything in between. It's a burdenful job to believe it's your job to please everybody. But here's the thing also that people can recognize about this pattern is that the more authentic you are, the more you begin to respect yourself. It's like you then will notice that other people, even though they may not approve of you in the same way, they'll respect you. So would you rather give up approval and validation from other people because you approve of and validate yourself, and in exchange then, there is many times respect?
I've always said that if I meet somebody and they don't like me, there's something wrong with them, because I don't bother anybody. I never get in anyone's way. I keep to myself. I'm respectful. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to, whether I'm a consumer, it doesn't matter. I'm respectful, I'm pleasant, I'm easy to get along with. Now, on the other hand, if you do like me, there's something wrong with you, because I'm a weirdo. I'm a butthole. I don't like to speak. I'm not going to say antisocial, because that's what they call it, but I don't feel the need to bless everybody with my presence and my words and speak and take photos. I'm just not like that. I keep to myself. I'm more of an observer. I just like to watch people do their thing, and I like to do my thing solo. So if you don't like me, there's something wrong with you in a bad way. If you do like me, there's something wrong with you in a good way. But either way, if you're dealing with me at all, there's something wrong with you. And that's just how it goes. When you're dealing with weirdos, you're going to attract weirdos. That's how it is. And I prefer it like that. I love weird people. I don't like rat race runners. I don't play like that.
There was a woman, a middle-aged woman, who had been diagnosed with a bladder cancer. It was inoperable according to Western medicine. She's lying on a gurney. She's awake. She's conscious. She's not anesthetized. There are 3 practitioners standing behind her, began using a chant. 2 minutes and 40 seconds later, what we see is that tumor real time on the screen. It begins to quiver, and then it begins to fade, and then it's gone.
There are depictions of this all throughout history, dating back hundreds of years. And it became less and less valid and ultimately got discredited by modern medicine. But our voices, they range. Look at how beautifully some of these people can sing in the world. It's crazy. Their voices are amazing. That's frequency. We believe in things like sirens and all kinds of stuff. You don't know what our voice is capable of. But I do know that just the range, just the octave, just the variety shows you that our voice is far more powerful than we think. I believe this did work. It's just a lost art, and I hope it comes back one day.
As in 2017 speeches and interviews, you described Pizzagate as a baseless conspiracy theory, alleging you and others ran a child sex trafficking ring from a Washington pizzeria basement. Have you reviewed any 2025-2026 Epstein files that were released that you believe reference or relate to those specific 2016 claims regarding the Podesta emails, Comet Ping Pong Pizza used as code possibly?
I'm sorry, you're asking her about whether she's reviewed emails in the Epstein files, which relate to the wacky Pizzagate scandal.
You could characterize it however you want. I just would like to know if she's familiar with any of them.
So,
She's
excuse me,
commenting.
your question is about whether or not she has reviewed any emails in the Epstein release files about Pizzagate.
Correct.
Pizzagate was totally made up. It was an outrageous allegation that ended up hurting a number of people, that caused a deranged young man to show up with his assault rifle and shoot up a local pizzeria. I can't believe you're even referencing it. You should be.
There are connections to the language.
Well,
I'm not
the
talking
QAnon
about,
people believe there are. So
I don't know what QAnon people believe.
Have at it.
But you've accused certain parties, and I think even right now today, of promoting slow walking or information in ways that fuels conspiracies. In your view, did any Epstein-Maxwell related investigations or file handling pre or post 2019 contribute to or intersect with the spread of Pizzagate style theories about Democrat figures?
Objection.
I have
Calls
no
for
way
an
of answering. That is the
impossible amount of
most
speculation.
ridiculously.
Have you or your representatives identified any Epstein file content that has been misinterpreted online to revive those claims? And what steps, if any, have you taken to clarify?
Again, object on the ground of
I think that this is all very
speculation.
reasonable.
Well, first of all, I don't follow the crazy conspiracy stories that are online. I regret that anybody does. I find it quite sad, but also disturbing that people would believe some of what is put forth, like Pizzagate. So I have taken no steps to review anything that might have any connection to something which I think is totally bogus.
Now, I can't wait to hear what you all think about whether or not she's telling the truth or what it is. I'm biased, and it's not because of Republican or Democrat or anything like that. I'm biased because she's a politician. Doesn't matter. They're all trained to talk and say what needs to be said and do it in a way that keeps them clean. So when it comes to politicians, I like to use body language. And I'm not an expert in body language. I just know the basics. She lost me because only one time in this video, at a very strategic time, she put her hand on her face. And that was when she knew she was getting ready to have to speak. That's a big tell. And she never touches her face again. Of course, the anger, I get it. But she lost me as soon as she touched her hand to her face because of when she did it. And never really answered the question, just ridiculed it. Is it real? I don't know. But it was big enough. And for some reason, they're still asking questions. So now you've seen it. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's going to do it for us. Another episode down. We keep it going 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do shorts as many times as we can. I try to do it twice a day. Sometimes life starts lifing. You know how it goes. Until the next time, stay up, stay diligent, stay focused. I am theundj. This is Confessing Lies and Telling Stories, and I'm out.